This is video number 4 from my Nutrition 300 class. So this is an actual slide, an actual cover from Time Magazine. Are you mom enough? And it gets into the whole, you know, as a nutrition instructor, a parent whose spouse was ardently pro-nursing and we nursed our children. I do understand, though, the dichotomy of making people feel bad when they don't nurse their children. And it's kind of that, you're never a good enough parent in life. If you buy, if you buy Gerber, you're not a good enough parent. Yes, we tried making our son, all his food from scratch. Then when my daughter was born, we bought Gerber, and I realized something. Gerber tastes pretty good. It's a lot easier. Anyway, so that is one of those kind of inflammatory covers that Time Magazine had. When you talk about, so now that we're getting past pregnancy and the child's born, again, all the delivery stuff you're going to learn about in your biology class. You start talking about breastfeeding, and this is a fairly newer slide that I'm using that I got from the CDC. It is funny. Some states nurse more than others, and I think it's not, political to say Vermont and Oregon are probably much hippier states than the rest of the country. But what's funny is, no one would say politically Massachusetts and Utah are similar, and yet they're on the upper end of states that nurse. Certainly Texas and I don't know. I mean, in the Dakotas have similar kind of more conservative voting population. Not everyone in the state, I know that. But look at these discrepancies. There really is no explanation for why you see so much nursing in some states than others. It could literally come down to income. We know that wealthier parents are more likely to nurse. And they have so many other advantages in life too, right? Access to healthcare, blah, 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 right? It could come down to that. So, and here we go again. Let's see. Ever 80%. So, it really hasn't changed a lot. It's going up, but, not a lot. What is it? It used to be, I think, 22% of moms were nursing at 1 year. So now what? It's about 31%. We would like it a lot higher. They do recommend you nurse your baby for 1 year. I know there's the 5 weeks is another magic number they talk about in obstetrics or in pediatrics, where if you can at least nurse for the first 5 weeks, there's a lot of advantages to early breast milk that they do see, and that would be great. But 1 year really is the goal, and as a country, we clearly are not doing it. So what do we like about breastfeeding? Well, first off, it's totally KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. You don't have to try to shop for formula, which if you ever shop for formula, you have to have a Nobel Peace Prize in marketing or something to figure out which formula to buy. As the baby ages from delivery to 1 year, they change. The milk changes the same. I know from personal experience. We've pumped the milk. We have stored the milk. We have frozen the milk. Early milk is extremely fatty, like half fat. By the time you get to 1 year, it's not bad at all. Then the mother gets tons of benefits. She heals quicker. It reduces the risk of ovarian cancer, maybe breast cancer. Nursing, I believe, is 500 calories leaving the body a day. We recommend a woman eat about 300 calories a day. That's minus you don't have to be an accountant. That's minus 200 calories a day. A woman can lose 12 to 24 pounds in that year of nursing to get back to their pre-pregnancy weight. So there's a lot of benefits that she incurs, not just the baby. It's so much cheaper than buying formula. First off, there was a formula pandemic thing, whatever, where you couldn't get formula. It's extremely expensive. You have to worry about keeping it sterile. Yes, there's sterile liquid formula. It's extremely expensive. Even when we ship and deliver dried formula, freeze-dried powdered formula to parts of the world that have had an earthquake or a flood, is there clean water there to make the formula? The other benefit, and this gets into the kind of like the earthy, crunchy stuff, and it's hard to quantify this, is the bonding. Does having the baby nurse provide some extra comfort for the baby and the mother? I can tell you at UC Davis, when your baby is born, they immediately start the nursing process, even before they've cleaned the baby off. And, when this happened when my daughter was born, and frankly, it's uncomfortable. Like, I'm in the background thinking, oh, wait a minute now, this is all kind of messy. What are you doing? And the nurses are very clear. No, we're going to do this because it's really important. and it keys the bonding between the mother and the child. And so, now this gets into, very personal opinions about this, but there's a lot of evidence to suggest that at least hormonally, when a woman does nurse, there's some hormones you can see in the body that are important. What does the baby get? So there are some benefits. The early milk is called colostrum. It has things like antibodies, hormones, enzymes, growth factors, things you can't put in formula. It protects against, the way I like to teach it, early breast milk picks winners and makes sure that you don't have losers in the GI tract. All the weight-friendly bacteria, the diabetes-friendly bacteria, the heart disease-friendly bacteria. Maybe babies who are breastfed will end up having GI tract bacteria that are healthier in life. We know that it's really important to prevent some types of viruses that cause really bad diarrhea in kids. So that's important. Breast milk has long-chain fatty acids, omega-3s, that are important for breast development. UC Davis published something back in 2011, 2012 saying, look, if you look inside breast milk, there are carbohydrates the baby cannot physically break down. The only reason those carbohydrates are there is to feed gut bacteria. That's how important it is. That early milk we call liquid gold. So if it comes to should you nurse as a woman, the answer is you absolutely should nurse in the beginning, because there's no product on the market that you can find that's going to equal that. And that's that whole 5-week rule. But I have to default. I'm not a physician. I'm not a pediatrician. They do recommend 1 year of nursing. So is formula bad? Of course it's not bad. Formula is as nutritionally equal to breast milk as possible. You can get formulas for your baby that are medically defined. They'll be expensive, but absolutely. They're hypoallergenic. So you've got that. And again, if there's an earthquake somewhere, you can drop in pallets of breast milk and formula for infants. So that is nothing. You can't airdrop in a bunch of nursing moms, right? That said, though, babies get formula. They don't get milk. They don't get unadulterated soy milk. Milk itself has too much protein for an infant. So in that first year, it's either breast milk or formula. If you are using formula, by the way, even if you're pumping and you're giving your baby breast milk in a sippy cup, you don't want to let the baby fall asleep with that cup in their mouth. That's called nursing bottle tooth decay. It can lead to ear infections. It can cause all sorts of problems. So